धेरै फोरमहरुमा हिजो भएका धेरै फोरमहरुमा पार्टिसिपेट गर्ने मौका पनि पाएँ र आज पनि केही फोरमहरुमा पक्कै पनि पार्टिसिपेट गर्छु। यो ANMA-NASeA को फोरमहरु खास गरी नेपालीहरुलाई जानकारी दिने, विभिन्न विषयमा जानकारी दिने उद्देश्यले राखिएका फोरमहरु, नेटवर्किङ गर्ने उद्देश्यले राखिएका कार्यक्रमहरु, भेटघाटका कार्यक्रमहरु र फुल इन्टरटेनमेन्ट दिने कार्यक्रमहरु अत्यन्त उत्कृष्ट रहेको मैले पाएको छु। यो किप इट अप, अघि विष्णुमाया परियारजीले भनिसक्नुभयो, म त्यसलाई दोहोर्याउन चाहदिन र यो ANMA-NASeA ले गरेको कार्यक्रम जहिले पनि एउटा अनुशासित र उत्कृष्ट क्वालिटीको भएको कुराहरू म अवगत गर्न चाहन्छु र खास गरी यसका लिडर्सहरू हाम्रो राजेन्द्रजी, गोपेन्द्रजी, सञ्जीवजी र उहाँको टिमलाई म हार्दिक बधाई पनि दिन चाहन्छु। बधाई छ। अब एनआरएन डायस्पोरा कम्युनिटीको बारेमा त साथीहरूले धेरै कुरा गरिसक्नुभयो। हिजो एनआरएन को फोरम पनि थियो। अहिले अम्बिकाजीले धेरै टु द पोइन्ट तर 5 मिनेटमा उहाँले धेरै कुराहरू गहन कुराहरू गरेर गइसक्नु भएको छ। मुकेशजी आउँदै हुनुहुन्छ, अहिले हाम्रो प्रहलाद कार्कीजीले धेरै कुराहरू भनिसक्नुभयो र मलाई लाग्छ एनआरएन को कन्ट्रिब्युसन, डायस्पोरा कम्युनिटीको कन्ट्रिब्युसन नेपालमा धेरै ठुलो छ। अब साँच्चै भन्ने हो भने नेपालमा यदि अघि अम्बिकाजीले भन्नुभएको जस्तो 24% को रेमिटेन्सेस नेपालमा भित्रिएको भए नेपालमा धेरै ठुलो फिस्कल क्राइसिस आउन सक्ने सम्भावना पनि रहन्थ्यो र अनइम्प्लोइमेन्टको प्रब्लम पनि त्यतिकै रहन्थ्यो होला। र यसको लगायत फरेन डाइरेक्ट इन्भेस्टमेन्टमा, ट्रेडमा, टुरिज्म र कल्चरल प्रमोसनको कार्यक्रमहरूमा र पिपल टु पिपल रिलेसनमा मलाई लाग्छ यस्ता धेरै कार्यक्रमहरूमा एनआरएन र डायस्पोरा कम्युनिटीले धेरै ठुलो मद्दत पनि गरिरहेको छ। अहिलेकै साँच्चीकै अमेरिकाकै उद्घाटन एक्जाम्पल दिने हो भने पनि मलाई लाग्छ लास्ट इयर नेपालबाट यहाँ आउने सामान 30% वृद्धि भएछ। त्यसको क्याटेगोरी पनि छ। मैले हिजो एउटा कुरा पनि गरेँ, यहाँ युनिभर्सिटी अफ नोटरडममा पनि केही कार्यक्रमहरू रहेछ नेपालका सामान र ह्यान्डिक्राफ्ट्सहरूको डिजाइनलाई इम्प्रुभ गर्ने र यो 30% को वृद्धि मलाई लाग्छ अमेरिकन इम्पोर्टरले गरेर होइन, नेपाली डायस्पोरा कम्युनिटी, एनआरएन कम्युनिटीले इम्पोर्ट गरेका सामानहरू अमेरिकामा आएर, नेपालबाट इम्पोर्ट गरेका सामान अमेरिकामा आएको कारणले यो स्ट्याटिस्टिक्समा इम्प्रुभ हुन गएको हो। र त्यस्तै अहिले अमेरिका चाहिँ नम्बर 3 मा पुगेको छ नेपालमा टुरिस्ट पठाउनेमा, इन्डिया र चाइना पछि। 2009 मा 32,000 अमेरिकन टुरिस्टले नेपाल भ्रमण गरेका थिए भने लास्ट इयर 42,000 ले गरेका छन्। यो पनि मलाई के लाग्छ भने यो एउटा प्रयास, नेपाली सरकारको प्रयास मात्रै होइन, यो तपाईहरुको सबैको विभिन्न ठाउँमा कम्युनिटीमा गरेका कार्यक्रमहरू, स्ट्रीट फेस्टिभलहरू र विभिन्न कल्चरल प्रोग्रामहरूले गरेर यसलाई धेरै एट्र्याक्सन पनि दिएको छ र नेपालको प्रमोसन पनि निकै हुन गइरहेको छ। अब यो सन्दर्भमा नेपाल एम्बेसी र डायस्पोरा कम्युनिटीको संयुक्त कार्यक्रमबाट पनि धेरै फाइदाहरू हामी लिन सक्छौँ, गर्न सक्छौँ। यही कन्टेक्स्टमा एक दुईवटा कुराहरू, उदाहरणको लागि जस्तो ट्रेड एन्ड इन्भेस्टमेन्ट फ्रेमवर्क एग्रिमेन्ट भयो नेपाल र अमेरिकाको बिचमा पहिलो पटक गत सालमा। अब यसको मिटिङ चाँडै नै नेपालमा फेरि दोस्रो मिटिङ हुँदैछ। तपाईहरुले इन्भेस्टमेन्टको बारेमा, ट्रेडको बारेमा र टेक्निकल एसिस्टेन्सको बारेमा र यो फरेन डाइरेक्ट इन्भेस्टमेन्ट र ट्रेडका इम्पिडिमेन्ट्सको बारेमा, ट्रेड बढिरहेछ, इन्भेस्टमेन्ट बढिरहेछ भने यसलाई अझ कसरी सरलीकरण गर्न सकिन्छ, कसरी फेसिलिटेट गर्न सकिन्छ भन्ने तपाईहरु सुझाव जहिले पनि दिन सक्नुहुन्छ। त्यो सुझाव दिने ठाउँ हो नेपाल एम्बेसी, वाशिंटन डीसी, अथवा तपाईहरुले डाइरेक्टली यूएस ट्रेड रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभको अफिस जुन चाहिँ व्हाइट हाउस अन्तर्गत प्रेसिडेन्ट अन्तर्गत छ त्यहाँ पनि सिधै लेख्न सक्नुहुन्छ। यसले धेरै ठुलो मद्दत गर्न सक्छ, जसले गर्दा हामीले यहाँ छलफल गरेका कुराहरू पनि हामीले एउटा अफिसियली एड्रेस हुन सकोस्। त्यस्तै यो ककसको बारेमा पनि मैले धेरै भनिसकेको छु। ककसमा अहिले 10 जना मेम्बर हुनुहुन्छ। त्यो मेम्बरहरूसँग रिच आउट गर्ने कुराहरू, यस्ता प्रोग्रामहरुमा उहाँहरूलाई डाक्ने, उहाँहरू नआए पनि उहाँहरूका अफिसियल्सहरू, स्टाफहरू आउनुहुन्छ, रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभहरू आउनुहुन्छ। त्यसले नेपाली कम्युनिटीसँगको कनेक्सन धेरै राम्रो डेभलप हुन्छ। यदि मेम्बर नहुनु भएको छ भने तपाईहरुको कन्स्टिट्युएन्सीबाट आफूले कन्ट्याक्ट गरेर उहाँहरूलाई नेपाल ककसको मेम्बर बन्नुस् भनेर इन्करेज पनि गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ। त्यसले गरेर तपाईहरुलाई थाहा छ यहाँ चाहिँ कांग्रेसम्यानहरुको, सिनेटरहरुको कति इन्फ्लुएन्स छ, कति इम्पोर्टेन्ट छन् भन्ने कुराहरू। किनभने अमेरिकामा मैले आफैले अनुभव गरेको छु, प्रत्येक कांग्रेसम्यान र प्रत्येक सिनेटरले संसारमा कुनै पनि कुरामा भएको इस्युलाई उले आफ्नै इस्यु ठान्छ र उनीहरू यति बिजी हुन्छन् र त्यसले नेपाली कम्युनिटीहरूलाई पनि मद्दत गर्छ, नेपाललाई पनि मद्दत गर्छ। तेस्रो कुराहरू हो, अघि अम्बिकाजीले भन्नुभयो, हाम्रो प्रहलादजीले भन्नुभयो, अमेरिकाबाट यो नलेज ट्रान्सफरको धेरै कुराहरू हुन्छ, ओपन युनिभर्सिटीको कुराहरू छ। यस सन्दर्भमा अमेरिकाले नेपाललाई 4वटा प्रोग्राममा, प्रायोरिटी प्रोग्राममा फोकस गरेको छ। त्यो भनेको डिजास्टर म्यानेजमेन्ट हो, नेपालको अहिले लिड रोल पनि अमेरिकाले लिइरहेको छ, क्लाइमेट चेन्जमा, र त्यसपछि ग्लोबल हेल्थ इनिसिएटिभमा र फिड द फ्युचर प्रोग्राममा। यी 4वटा प्रोग्रामहरूमा म एम्बेसीको तर्फबाट मलाई थाहा छ, खास गरी फिड द फ्युचर प्रोग्राममा नेपाली स्कलर्सहरू पनि इन्भल्भ हुनुभएको छ। भर्जिनिया टेकबाट, के अरे हाम्रो नेब्रास्काबाट, यो न्यू अर्लियन्सबाट स्कलरहरू पनि इन्क्लुड हुनुभएको छ। डिजास्टर म्यानेजमेन्टमा पनि इन्क्लुड हुन खोजि नै रहनु भएको छ। र यस्ता 4वटा प्रोग्रामहरू जुन चाहिँ युएस गभर्मेन्टबाट नेपालमा फोकस प्रोग्रामको अन्तर्गत गएका छन्, त्यसमा चाहिँ नेपाली डायस्पोराहरू इन्भल्भ हुन सक्ने सम्भावना छ। त्यसमा तपाईँहरूले चाहिँ सहयोग गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ, मद्दत गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ। त्यस्तै पहिलो पटक नेपालमा जान लागेको मिलेनियम च्यालेन्ज कर्पोरेसनको पहिलो काम पनि के हो भने नेपालको डेभलपमेन्टको इम्पेडिमेन्ट्स र कन्स्टेन्ट्सहरूलाई एनालिसिस गर्ने हो। उहाँहरूले पनि मान्छेहरू खोजिरहनु भएको छ, संयुक्त रूपमा काम गर्न खोजिरहनु भएको छ। त्यो पनि एउटा अपर्च्युनिटी नयाँ आएको छ। यो कन्स्टेन्ट एनालिसिस, यो इम्पेडिमेन्ट्सहरू थाहा पाइसकेपछि ठुल्ठुलो प्रोजेक्टहरू नेपालमा हामीले लान सक्छौँ, जुन अरू कन्ट्रीमा पनि भइरहेको छ। त्यो पनि एउटा डायस्पोरा कम्युनिटीलाई नलेज ट्रान्सफरको हुन सक्ने कुराहरू रहेको छ। योदेखि बाहेक अरू धेरै कुराहरू छन्। हिजो मात्रै हामीले एउटा यहाँ कुरा पनि गरेका थियौँ एनआरएन फोरममा। एम्बेसीमा एउटा एनआरएनको फोकल पोइन्ट पनि अहिले हामीले इस्टाब्लिस गरेका छौँ। तपाईँ र एनआरएन र डायस्पोरा कम्युनिटीको कुनै पनि अरू समस्या छ, संयुक्त रूपमा हामीले नेपाल र नेपाली कम्युनिटीको लागि गर्न सक्ने भने यु क्यान अलवेज सजेस्ट अस, यु क्यान एडभाइस अस। हामी जहिले पनि तपाईँहरूसँग रहेर कार्यक्रमहरू गर्न पनि तयार छौँ। यसको अतिरिक्त हिजो नै मैले एउटा कुरा के भनेको थिएँ भने हाम्रो एनआरएन कम्युनिटीले पहिला द रोल अफ डायस्पोरा इन इकोनोमिक डिप्लोमेसी भनेर रिपोर्ट निकाल्नु भएको थियो। त्यसलाई एक्सन प्लान पनि बनाऊ र हामी अमेरिकाबाट किन सुरु नगर्ने, त्यस्ता एक्सन प्लान जसले गर्दा एम्बेसी, नेपाल गभर्मेन्ट र कम्युनिटीहरू एकसाथ आएर कल्चरल प्रमोसन, ट्रेड प्रमोसन, इन्भेस्टमेन्ट प्रमोसनका कामहरू पनि हामीले बिस्तारै अलिकति इन्स्टिट्युसनलाइज रूपमा अगाडि लान सकौँ भन्ने प्रयास त्यो पनि गर्न लागेको। त्यस्तै पिस कोरको कार्यक्रमहरू, पिस कोरबाट फर्किएका सबै अमेरिकनहरू, म त के भन्छु भने दे आर अलवेज गुडविल एम्बेसडर अफ नेपाल। तिनीहरूले तपाईँहरूको एसाइलमको कामदेखि मैले आफूले पर्सनली कुरा गरेको छु, धेरै ठाउँहरूमा धेरै मद्दत गर्नुभएको छ उहाँहरूले। त्यस कारणले मलाई लाग्छ यो पिस कोरको कार्यक्रम पनि सेप्टेम्बरमा नेपाल जाँदैछ। पिस कोरका यहाँ भएका कम्युनिटी मेम्बरहरू, त्यो चाहिँ मैले जहिले पनि भन्ने गरेको छु, गुडविल एम्बेसडर, उहाँहरूलाई पनि यस्तो प्रोग्राममा इन्भल्भ गराउनुहोस्। उहाँहरू पनि नेपाली बोल्न खोज्ने, दाल भात खान खोज्ने र नेपाली कार्यक्रममा सहभागी हुन सक्ने उहाँहरूलाई धेरै इन्ट्रेस्ट हुन्छ। मैले एउटा पार्टी गर्दाखेरि वासिङटन डिसीमा 100 जनाभन्दा बढी आउनु भएको थियो। मेरो घरमा त त्यो रेजिडेन्समा त ठाउँ पनि थिएन। चौरमा बसेर दाल भात खाएर गीत गाएर जानुभएको थियो। उहाँहरू धेरै खुसी हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँहरूलाई पनि इन्भल्भ गराउनुहोस् भन्ने मैले तपाईँहरूलाई रिक्वेस्ट गर्न चाहन्छु। अब त्योदेखि बाहेक मेरो एउटा लास्ट कुरा के छ भने एम्बेसीको काम त यो त हुँदै हो, यो त अरू एक्सटर्नल एक्टिभिटिज, एउटा नेपाल र अमेरिकाको बिचमा सम्बन्ध सुदृढ गर्ने, नेपाली कम्युनिटीलाई मद्दत गर्ने कार्यक्रमहरू। त्योदेखि बाहेक नेपाली एम्बेसीले गर्ने काम भिसा, पासपोर्ट, अथेन्टिकेसन, पावर अफ एटर्नीदेखि लिएर यी यावत कुराहरूमा तपाईँहरूलाई केही समस्या परेको छ भने तपाईँहरूले आजै भन्न सक्नुहुन्छ। हामीले आजको काम 2 दिनभित्रै कम्प्लिट गर्छौँ, सम्भव भएसम्म 24 आवर्स, नभए पनि 2 दिनभित्र हामीले कम्प्लिट गर्न कोसिस गर्छौँ। र यसमा तपाईँको केही कम्प्लेन छ, तपाईँको केही प्रब्लम छ भने यु क्यान अलवेज टक टु मी। थ्याङ्क यू भेरी मच
for putting being a really great host there. So as you know, I was a candidate for US Congress from Washington State, 1st District. करिब 2 वर्ष अगाडि I was wondering what I'm going to do in my life. After I came to this country, immigrated about 24 years ago and became a successful entrepreneur and businessman after earning my engineering and MBA degree. And looking at Nepal's situation, falling behind, and everything was not going in a proper way, and also this country that has given me so much for who I am today. So I decided to take a political path to address those issues and help both countries, both my motherland Nepal and also the country that has given me for who I am today. So in July of last year, I launched a campaign for US Congress from Washington State. And after talking to my wife and family, I knew that this is going to be a really hard journey and long journey that I will have to endure without my family and probably not sleeping or eating and on the road probably for about 20 hours a day. So I took that path and I attended an ANA convention, and the kind of support that I have received attending ANA, NASA, and also from the NRN community is unprecedented level of support. I really wanted to thank all of you for coming together to support my candidacy for US Congress. There are a few individuals I like to really recognize who I think I am indebted to them for the rest of my life for making my campaign so successful that has made a big mark in US political history. First of all, I'd like to recognize Damodar Podel, whom I did not know. Let's give him a big round of applause. I met him at ANA. I had a few words with him, and he quickly came on board and said, I will do everything to help you win this election. Day in, day out, whenever I called him, at 2 in the morning, or 5 in the morning, or 10 at night, he was there with me, helping me, reaching out to people, connecting me to do fundraising, and also connecting with the people throughout the US that has gained a lot of traction. Also, Anjan Shrestha, when I traveled to Dallas, helped me raise $12,500, unprecedented support that he has put together with a few individuals who donated very generously. And also Ratan Jha from NRN community, who has helped facilitate my visit to Nepal and also reaching out to the NRN community members in US. And Prahlad Manji, when I went to Atlanta to attend the NASA convention, opened his door and raised over $5,000, and then really understood what it is for all of us, the Nepali community, what is at stake. And finally, Janardhan Subediji, who is not here, also for facilitating a lot of help in Nepal during my visit to Nepal, and also reaching out to a lot of community members here. And finally, really Sarda Jang Thapaji, who I really endured for being my mentor, being my advisor. The day I met him, really be with me throughout the campaign, working with my staff, working with my consultant, and being there for me. I really wanted to thank you, Sarda Jangji. If you can stand up, I truly appreciate all the work you have done for my campaign. So I am indebted to these people and the whole Nepali community. We have raised over $200,000 in my campaign over a year. And with 2,000 people donating in my campaign. From $5 to $2,000, and from 18 years of old to 84 years old. I did not know what path I was taking, but people were really there. When I called them, they were there inviting me to stay in their place, doing the fundraising, because this is the first time our community never have done this before. So it was a lot of an educational path, and the hospitality and the bonding that they showed in my campaign that I will never forget. We campaigned more than 35 states to raise that money that has made me run this very credible and viable campaign. In Washington, people did not take me as a serious candidate. You had made me reach that path by raising over $100,000 in just 3 months. And all of a sudden that I was in a media, not only in Washington state, locally, statewide, but also throughout the nation, covering my race. During this period, I knew so many of you who have touched my heart, and I made so many friends, so many family, created that bond. Remind me of a lady I visited in Colorado who just came to US from Nepal, and unfortunately her husband got into accident and he was in coma for 9 months in a hospital. She did not have any sufficient funds to take care of her family or her husband, but even she came to my campaign and donating $20. And a gentleman in Baltimore, Yadu Pokrail, whenever I called him to help me in my campaign, he was a taxi driver. He would pull over in the Baltimore airport to give me his credit card number. Here is Darshanji, दिनुस् तपाईले जति चाहिन्छ 50 रुपैयाँ या 100 रुपैयाँ, I'm willing to help. And student I visited in various states, although they are having struggled to fund their own education, giving me $200, $100, and a lot of people who has contributed monthly from $5 to $50 every month towards my campaign. About 200 of you, I really, really want to thank you for giving me that help. So, this campaign was a very tough campaign. We had a very big district, about 130 miles stretch, about 25 cities we covered, 700,000 people with 400,000 voters. With 4 counties, being open seat, we were originally 11 candidates, and 5 of them dropped out, and we were finally heading to primary for about 6 hours. And I met thousands of voters in my district. And because of your help, I was able to do that. And the reason I ran for Congress was this country was not what it was 20 years ago. So I ran to bring America back to its founding principle and put people back to work and provide the health care for all of our citizens, because we are the richest country in the world. And be that fresh voice, the new voice that was so much needed in this Congress. As an outsider, I ran a great, successful campaign. I reached out to a lot of voters, from voters who has lost their jobs, lost their health care benefits, could not afford to send their kids. When they saw me as an outsider, they hugged me, they invited me in their house and said, you are the kind of candidate that we are looking, because our political system is also broken. And as an immigrant, as a success story, you are an inspiring figure. And we know Nepal, the police community supporting you, and we are here to support you. So with your support, what that happened was that gathered a lot of local support, that people embraced me. And all of a sudden now we have millions of people who know about Nepal and Nepali community that exist here. We participated in a lot of debates, forums, and because of your help, Seattle Times even posted as a most impressive candidate in this race. And being a Nepali, I was really proud to be able to stand among politicians, well-funded candidates, and also fundraisers, to stand out and then have that endorsement from the media was something that I've never experienced in my life. People were still call me, text message me, Facebook, send me a Facebook page from not only US, but throughout the world to continue this journey, to save the American dream, and to bring the global perspective that I was going to bring by electing to Congress. We got a lot of support from minority group. Filipino community helped us, Indian community helped us, Vietnamese community helped us, Chinese community helped us, Bangladeshi, and all of us. And this was one of the mostly contentious race it was in the nation, even reported by the Washington Post and Wall Street Journal, because our campaign has already surpassed $5 million race already for the primary. So a lot of people were keeping an eye on our race. So unfortunately, we could not deliver the results that we were expecting. But we have made mark. मेरो लागि चाहिँ यो हाम्रो हार नै जित हो. And this is the first journey we have taken towards getting there. and I will not rest. So I'm here to tell you that this is a first step towards the journey to Washington, D.C., and I will continue that path. So with my campaign, we have learned a lot. We have created the kind of political movement that this diaspora hasn't seen. So I'm looking into how we can continue that path and then really get everybody to engage, and especially the youth. That I read about the identity issue, the issue that faces this community, how we can represent from both local, statewide, and also federal level, and also be the bridge from US to the Nepal and South Asia, and how we can bring all the diaspora together to make that a voting bloc so that we are a prominent community in our American political system, and it really inspire the youth to tell them that this is a country, if you are willing to work hard with determination, you can succeed in life. So moving forward, I need your help. I'm looking to start a think tank or an organization that is solely focused on a political movement, to get our youth involved in the American political system, and then also do something for our Nepal. Because I truly believe that we are the people, we can help solve a lot of problems that Nepal is facing today. So I'm mulling my future plans. I get a lot of local support asking me to run for office again and not give up my hopes and the values that I ran. So I am here to really thank you from the bottom of my heart, from my family, to all of you, all your support that I have received, and we will continue this journey. Thanks a lot.
बसे पनि हामी विदेशी भएका छैनौँ जस्तो लाग्छ, किनभने अमेरिका जस्तो विशाल ठाउँमा पनि हामीले हाम्रो भाषा, साहित्य र अनेक थरीका आज धेरै विभिन्न किसिमका फर्महरू यहाँ हामीले बोलेका छौँ, गरेका छौँ र देखाएका छौँ। यो हाम्रो नेपाल प्रतिको आफ्नो सद्भावना, मायाले हो भन्ने जस्तो मलाई लाग्दछ। अन्तमा म धेरै बोल्न त सक्दिनँ, मेरो छोटो मन्तव्य यही भन्छु कि हामी अझै पनि आनमा नासाले हरेक क्षेत्रबाट समेट्न सकोस्, जस्तै साहित्य क्षेत्रबाट पनि गएको वर्षदेखि आनमा नासामा एउटा सम्झौता भएर हामी अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय साहित्य समाजलाई एउटा स्थान दिनुभएको छ। यसमा म यहाँहरूलाई हृदयदेखि नै धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। अन्तमा यति भन्दैमा यो हाम्रो मित्रता सधैँभरि भइरहोस् भनी शुभकामना पनि दिन चाहन्छु। धन्यवाद।
म यहाँलाई स्मरण गराउन चाहन्छु, सबभन्दा पहिला जब यस संस्थाका पूर्व अध्यक्ष ले मलाई तपाईले यस कार्यक्रममा यसपालि आइदिनु पर्यो भनेर फोनबाट निम्ता गर्नुभयो। उहाँ हुनुहुन्थ्यो राजा घले। त्यसभन्दा दोस्रो पटक मलाई फेरि राजेन्द्र खतिवडाज्यूले यहाँ आउनको निमित्त मलाई निम्ता गर्नुभयो। मैले उहाँहरू दुईजनालाई नै भने, हेर्नुहोस्, संसारभरि नेपालीका धेरै सङ्घ संस्थाहरू छन्, नेपालीहरूले धेरै सङ्घ संस्थाहरू चलाएका छन् र तपाईँहरूले पनि चलाउनु भएको छ। म भर्खरै अहिले एउटा संस्थामा वरिष्ठ कार्यकारी उपाध्यक्ष थिएँ। मैले त्यो संस्था भर्खरै छोडेको अवस्था छ। अब मैले त्यो छोड्ने बित्तिकै तपाईँहरूले बोलाएको ठाउँमा आउँदाखेरि तपाईँहरूको संस्थाको बारेमा मलाई धेरै थाहा छैन। त्यसकारण म एउटा के कुरा तपाईँहरूलाई भन्न चाहन्छु भने, तपाईँहरूको संस्था यदि आर्थिक दृष्टिकोणले विशुद्ध छ, तपाईँहरूको संस्था मार्फत आर्थिक अनियमितताका कुराहरू हुँदैनन् र तपाईँहरूको संस्थाले आम नेपालीहरूको साझा संस्थाको रूपमा काम गर्ने अठोट गरेको छ भने म आउँछु, न म आउँदिनँ। किनभने मैले आफू क्रियाशील संस्थामा, आफूले काम गरिरहेको संस्थामा जम्मा दुईटा कुरा राखेँ। मैले उहाँहरूलाई भने त्यो बेलामा दुईटा कुरा राखेँ। एउटा कुरा थियो, हामीले काम गरिरहेको संस्था यदि आम नेपालीहरूको बनाएनौँ भने हामीले केही पनि गर्न सक्दैनौँ। एउटा सानो एनजिओको रूपमा कुनै पनि संस्थामा हामीले काम गऱ्यौँ भने त्यो नेपालीको नाम दिएर त्यो संस्था चलाउनु हुँदैन, त्यसलाई अरू कुनै पारिवारिक संस्था अथवा एनजिओको रूपमा हामीले विकास गरेर लाँदा हुन्छ। त्यसकारण हामीले काम गरेको संस्था जुन नेपाली नामबाट, आम नेपालीको नामबाट हामी त्यसलाई ड्राइभ गर्न कोसिस गरेका छौँ, त्यसलाई आम नेपालीको संस्था बनाउनुपर्छ भनेर मैले प्रस्ताव राखेको थिएँ। म कार्यरत संस्था भनेको नेपालको सबैभन्दा पुरानो र सबैभन्दा ठुलो संस्था ANMA थियो। म त्यसको सिनियर एक्जिक्युटिभ भाइस प्रेसिडेन्ट थिएँ। अर्को कुरा मैले के राखेँ, मैले मेरो साथीहरूसँग मिटिङमा के राखेँ भने यो संस्थामा आर्थिक पारदर्शिता हुनुपर्छ। आर्थिक पारदर्शिताको कुरा सबभन्दा पहिला हामीले माइनर गर्छौँ। यो दुईटा कुरा भएन भने भोलि हामी पक्कै पनि यसमा इन्भल्भ हुने साथीहरू बदनाम हुन्छौँ र त्यो बदनामी को साथीहरूले बेहोर्न मनपर्छ आफ्नो ठाउँमा छ, तर त्यो बदनामी म बेहोर्न चाहन्न। त्यसकारण यो दुईटा कुरा हामीले नीतिगत रूपमा पास गरेर अगाडि बढौँ भनेर मैले प्रस्ताव राखेँ। मेरो कुरा सुनवाई भएन, साथीहरूले मान्नु भएन र जब त्यो कुरा मानिँदैन भने मैले त्यहाँ बस्नु आवश्यकता छैन भनेर मैले भर्खर त्यो संस्थाबाट राजीनामा दिएको थिएँ। र त्यो संस्थामा राजीनामा दिएको व्यक्ति अब यो ANMA र नासाको कन्भेन्सनमा आउँदाखेरि मैले विश्वस्त म हुनुपर्थ्यो कि यो संस्थामा यी दुईटा कुराहरू समावेश हुँदैन र मैले उहाँहरूबाट वचन पाएँ यो हाम्रो संस्थामा यी दुईटा कुराहरू अहिलेसम्म प्रवेश गरेका छैनन् र गर्ने सम्भावना पनि छैन उहाँले भन्नुभयो। म यहाँ आएँ र आज हेर्दाखेरि मैले भर्खरै सुने यो संस्थामा आर्थिक पारदर्शिता छ र यसमा हाम्रो यति पैसा यो ठाउँबाट आम्दानी भएको छ र यो ठाउँबाट आम्दानी भएको पैसा यसरी हामीले बचत पनि गरेका छौँ र यो कुरा मैले सुन्दाखेरि मलाई उहाँले पहिला भनेको कुरा सही हो जस्तो लाग्यो। यसको लागि म खुसी छु। उहाँहरूलाई धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। अर्को कुरो, यो जुन आज हामी यो गरिमामय कन्भेन्सनमा उपस्थित छौँ, यो सम्मेलनको सफलताको कामना पनि म गर्दछु। यसको भावी कार्ययोजना यहाँले जुन रूपले प्रस्तुत गर्नुभएको छ त्यो मलाई राम्रो लाग्यो। त्यो संसार चलेको खण्डमा यो संस्था नेपालीहरूको माझमा स्थापित हुनेछ भन्ने मलाई आशा लाग्यो। अन्त्यमा म पुनः आयोजक कमिटीलाई हार्दिक धन्यवाद दिन्छु र यो सम्मेलनको सफलताको कामना गर्दै यहाँबाट म बिदा हुन्छु।
So let's put our hands together to appreciate the two organizations that are coming together as one to build a stronger force to help our fellow Nepalese. So please welcome on stage Mrs. Vishnu Maya Pariyar and Mr. Rajendra Khatiwala for the ANMA at 1 memorandum.
विष्णु जी को स्पीचबाट यहाँले सुनिहाल्नुभयो, उहाँले कति काम गर्नुभएको छ नेपालमा। ANMA ले गएको 31 वर्षदेखि नेपालका विभिन्न प्रोजेक्टहरूमा सहयोग गर्दै आएको थियो र अहिले पछिल्लो समयमा गएर ANMA के हो भने अब हामी अमेरिकामा पनि धेरै बिजी छौँ। मैले टु फाइन्ड जसले नेपालमा चाहिँ रियल काम गरिरहेछ र जहाँ पैसा पुगेको छ त्यो संस्था एउटा फाइन्ड गरेर त्यतातिर एउटा हाम्रो रिसोर्सेसहरूलाई चाहिँ च्यानलाइज गरौँ भन्ने थियो। त्यसमा मैले विष्णुजीको प्रोग्राममा गएका ANMA-NASeA कन्भेन्सनहरू धेरैचोटि एटेन्ड गरेँ। त्यसपछि अनि हाम्रो एडभाइजर मुकेश सिंहजीले पनि धेरैचोटि एटेन्ड गर्नुभयो। त्यसपछि अनि हामी एउटा के कन्क्लुजनमा पुग्यौँ भनेदेखि चाहिँ एम्पावर दलित वुमेन नेपालले जुन कुरा उठाएको छ नेपालमा दलित वुमेनहरूलाई चाहिँ ग्रासरुटबाट चाहिँ इनर्जाइज गरेर आउने अनि उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ एम्पावर गर्ने भन्ने जुन कुरा लिएर आएको छ त्यो हामीलाई चित्त बुझ्यो र हामीले हाम्रो एक्जिक्युटिभ कमिटीमा डिसिसन गऱ्यौँ र युनियनिमसली हामीले के पारित गऱ्यौँ भनेदेखि चाहिँ एम्पावर दलित वुमेन अफ नेपालसँग हामी चाहिँ एउटा मेमोरेन्डम साइन गरौँ जसले गर्दा उनीहरूको प्रोजेक्टहरूमा हामी पार्टनर हौँ र जति सक्छौँ हामी उहाँहरूलाई हामी हेल्प गर्छौँ। त्यस्तै एम्पावर वुमेन दलित अफ नेपालले ANMA-को प्रोजेक्टहरूमा पनि उहाँहरूले जति सक्नुहुन्छ त्यति हेल्प गर्नुहुन्छ भन्ने एउटा म्युचुअल अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङमा आज हामी यो एग्रिमेन्ट साइन गर्दैछौँ।
Thank you so much personally राजेन्द्र खतिवडा दाई अनि ANMA-का सम्पूर्ण टिमलाई। सायद नेपाली अर्गनाइजेसनले पहिलोचोटि एउटा दलित वुमेनको अर्गनाइजेसनलाई रेकग्निसन गर्दैछ र पार्टनरसिप पनि गर्दैछ। यो मेरो लागि सबभन्दा ठुलो अचिभमेन्ट हो। हुन त 6 वर्षको अवधिमा मोर देन $500,000 हामीले रेज गरेर नेपाल पठाएका छौँ। सम्पूर्ण पैसा चाहिँ हाम्रो कार्यक्रममा लगानी गर्छौँ। हाम्रो चाहिँ 501c पनि छ। त्यो पैसा चाहिँ विशेष गरेर फरेनरहरूबाट आउँथ्यो, विभिन्न फाउन्डेसनहरूबाट आउँथ्यो। त्यो $500,000 भन्दा मलाई आज यो $1,000 ले धेरै खुसी बनाएको छ, किनभने यो नेपाली कम्युनिटीबाट आएको पहिलोचोटि हो। मलाई विश्वास छ तपाईहरूले पनि एडवर्डको कामलाई, मेरो सपना पुरा गर्नलाई तपाईहरूले पनि साथ दिनुहुनेछ भन्ने आशा राख्दछु। अनि यो अर्गनाइजेसनलाई सहयोग गर्ने धेरै व्यक्तिहरू हुनुहुन्छ। एकजना व्यक्ति यही मञ्चमा हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँको नाम हो प्रतीक थापा मगर। उहाँ चाहिँ हाम्रो अर्गनाइजेसनको एडभाइजर पनि हुनुहुन्छ। अर्को विशेष व्यक्ति हुनुहुन्छ मुकेश सिंह। इट इज जस्ट द बिगिनिङ। मलाई आशा छ यसले झन् बढी मलाई स्ट्रेन्थ दिन्छ र मैले धेरै काम गर्न सक्नेछु भन्ने आशा राखेको छु। र म अर्को कुरा के भन्न चाहन्छु भने अघि ट्रान्सप्यारेन्सीको कुरा आयो। हामीले चाहिँ जति पनि फन्ड रेज गर्छौँ, जसले हामीलाई डोनेसन दिन्छ त्यो चाहिँ ट्याक्स डिडक्सन हुन्छ, किनभने हाम्रो 501c अमेरिकामा पनि छ र नेपालमा पनि भएर हामीले जति जो तपाईँहरूले $1 दिनुहुन्छ भने पनि हामीले त्यो लिस्ट देखाउँछौँ। त्यही भएर यो अर्गनाइजेसनमा एकदमै ट्रान्सप्यारेन्सी छ। अनि मैले एउटा कुरा अघि छुटेको कुरा म भन्न चाहन्छु, मलाई माफ दिनु होला। वुमेन इम्पावरमेन्टको एक्जाम्पल यहाँ आज हामीले भर्खर पनि देख्यौँ। हाम्रो अहिले मात्र मिस नेपाल USA 2012 भएकी आस्था श्रेष्ठ, उहाँलाई म धेरै धन्यवाद दिन, कङ्ग्रेचुलेसन पनि भन्न चाहन्छु। र उहाँको यो मल्टी ट्यालेन्टले गर्दाखेरि उनले भविष्यमा झन् धेरै गर्न सक्नेछन् भन्ने आशा राख्दछु। थ्याङ्क यू सो मच।
That I would like to share with you. I would like to talk briefly about NRNA. I would like to talk briefly about the value of the diaspora and also how we can serve. So those are just a couple points that I want to talk about. Now, we have to take the perspective. When you talk about NRNA, which is the Non-Resident Nepalese Association, that is the association of the diaspora, just think of it like this. It's a very large number. It's about 3 million people worldwide. That's 10% of Nepal's population is outside. If you put all of them together, it's like the country of Finland, it's like Norway, Denmark, or even New Zealand. So it's a large number of people. So you can see there's a strength in number, and there's a lot of possibility of what this kind of diaspora can do. So that is what the Non-Resident Nepalese Association represents, 3 million people. 60 different countries, there are national coordination councils. So it's also a web of a very powerful organization, thanks to very visionary leaders like Upendra Mahato, Jiva Lami-Chane, and the rest of the people who made this big organization possible. I am an advisor to that NRNA International Coordination Council, and I would like to greet all of you on behalf of the President of NRNA, Mr. Jiva Lami-Chane also. So I just wanted to give you that highlight. There are 6 regions, there are regional coordinators, one of them is our own Mukesh Singh. There are 60 different national coordination councils, one of them is our own Mr. Prahlad Kesu. So that is how that particular organization operates. Now, within that diaspora numbers, different countries have different types of situations. In the US alone, if you just want to think of the numbers, there are almost like 300,000 Nepalese that are estimated to be residing in the USA alone. The per capita income in the US is about $48,500. The average per capita of the Nepalese is probably higher because many of them are professionals. Multiply 300,000 by about 50,000, you get $15 billion US dollar. That $15 billion US dollar, that is the total income of the GDP of that Nepalese diaspora, happens to be larger than the total GDP of the domestic production in Nepal, which is about $12 and $13 billion. There's a lot of possibility in terms of what even a fraction of that particular income can do in Nepal. These numbers are kind of staggering. If you think of the remittances that Prahlad was talking about, that makes about 24% of Nepal's GDP, $3 billion out of $12 billion. The remittance is also supporting Nepal a lot. And we had a small chance yesterday to have a small chat with the former Prime Minister. The diaspora's strength, the diaspora's support for Nepal, the diaspora's potential to get involved into the Nepalese development paradigm is really big. It's colossal. The relationship between the government of Nepal and diaspora can be very strong, and one of the elements that NRNA has asked is the retention of Nepalese citizenship if possible. So that's one of the lobbying that NRNA is doing on behalf of everyone. And when the former Prime Minister is here, and when the rest of the people are also here, that's one case that I just wanted to make in terms of the work of the NRNA. What are the other fields of NRNA? One is collective investment. We heard from Mr. Anjan Shrestha yesterday. We heard something from KCG also this morning. That's another idea that the NRNA has come about. They are gathering together the money and then putting it together for the advancement of Nepal. If I could make a very small request for the people who are standing on that side, can you please either sit down or just maybe go to the lobby so that it will be better for everyone? The people standing on the back, can you please sit down? That would be better. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, so those are some of the points that NRNA is doing. What is the other area that NRNA, International Coordination Council, and the NRNA NCC of USA is proposing? That is the transfer of skill, knowledge, and technology. In that category, there is an initiative that's taken by NRNA, which is the Open University of Nepal. In the Open University of Nepal, it is an idea to serve. It is to support the marginalized community in Nepal, just the kind of work that Vishnuji is doing, Vishnu Pariyakji is doing. Make it possible for the housewives, for the people who live in the village, to attend a university, get a degree from a very credible university with high quality, but it is affordable, the admission will be open to everyone. That's an initiative that NRNA has taken. The government of Nepal has already established a development committee for that event. And that's where you can serve. That's where you can serve, maybe by contributing money, maybe by teaching voluntarily, or maybe by connecting. In that light, I just want to end by quoting Martin Luther King. All of us can serve. He says, you do not need a college degree to serve. You do not need to make the noun agree with the verb to serve. All you need is a soul that's full of love. And you have examples of people like Vijaya Didi and so many other people, Pralada and so many people here who have served. That's what we need. And once again, I want to thank you for coming and thank you for supporting. And I want to congratulate ANMA-NASeA for putting together such a wonderful show. Thank you all. Beautiful place, Indianapolis. Thanks everyone for being here.
As far as I'm concerned, this is not the time or the place to discuss it. We've got two very distinguished guests here. Former Prime Minister of Nepal and His Excellency Ambassador Sharma. So I want to defer to these two gentlemen because I think your time should be spent hearing these two distinguished guests as opposed to my conclusions, although at the right time and place I think it would be very meaningful to the country.
This is certainly a great honor for us, and this will also give us opportunity to convey some of our concern related to Nepal, which message he can directly take to the political as well as in the necessary place. So what I was going to do is, on behalf of all of you, some of the issues that I have heard, being a regional coordinator of North America, I'm going to try to summarize those issues and try to get the attention of Mr. Prime Minister and see what are his views in those areas. I had an honor along with some of other people yesterday to have a dinner with him, and I briefly let him know some of the issues that we are facing, but some of the points that I missed, I would like to say here. First of all, I made it very clear to you last night also that our diaspora does not want anything from the government of Nepal which is not in the best interest of Nepal. Let's make that very clear. We do not want anything at the cost of Nepal. because the reason some of the concerns that we are conveying to government of Nepal for past 9 years to assist and be a part of the Nepalese economy. I'm so glad that just when His Excellency was speaking, he said there is a rise in the import to the United States from Nepal, as well as Nepalese tourists have risen from the United States. I don't want to sit here and take credit for that, and not only people in here, but Raja Ghale from NRN, he visited so many places to promote the tourism in Nepal, and His Excellency is very well aware of that, at his own cost. So we have those kind of volunteers who has facilitated this kind of rise. So it is very clear that at least we have started the process of assisting Nepal. Now, question comes, in order to be more involved, we need to have some kind of clear path of perpetual rights that can be transferred from one to the next generation without having an issue of citizenship. Every Jewish people, regardless of where they live in the world, is a citizen of Israel, just by the virtue of their religion. Yesterday, Prime Minister was saying that your slogan of the in itself has a fundamental flaw. And he brought very good point to me yesterday. Because he says, once Nepali, always Nepali. That slogan of the NRN is not right. And then he explained me that why it is not right. And then he said that only covers your generation, it doesn't cover next generation. So I was so humbled to hear that from him, that he is not only worried about us, he's also worried our children who were born and raised here. So, Mr. Prime Minister, only thing that I don't want to take too much time, because I would like to hear from you, and you can take as much time as you want, because we'll patiently sit here and listen from you. I just want to request you three things that please address those three issues. One is, what can we do to Nepal other than what we are already doing? Number two, how we can build a bridge between Nepalese diaspora of the United States and other diasporas in different countries and Nepal. And third, we would like to hear that some of the concerns that our diaspora is facing related to Nepal, that we were able to brief you last night, along with Ambika Dai, Prahlad Dai, and everybody did a very excellent job in summarizing those. So please tell us some kind of initiative or concern how that will be addressed. So having said that, I just quickly want to acknowledge Rajendra Khatibara. From tomorrow we will have a newly elected president, Mr. Gopendra Bhattarai, and we look forward to see his administration. I'm sure he will do a fine job. He has already shown us example that he can run such a successful convention. But I want to make sure that all of us from ANMA member, me including, thank Rajanji for doing a marvelous job in his 2 years of presidency, and I want to assure him on behalf of the ANMA committee that his work has not been done, and he will be recruited very soon somewhere in a very good place to serve, continue to serve. So, Rajanji, it's your day. Thank you very much for everything you have done for us. And once again, thanks to Gopendra for providing such a wonderful facility as well as community.